Have you ever wished your family could hear what you were truly feeling inside? I used to dream about it. I thought maybe if they knew my heart, they'd finally love me the way I always wanted. But when it really happened, it was nothing like I imagined. Let me take you back. My name is Aaron. I grew up in a house that looked perfect from the outside. A neat little garden, warm lights in the windows, and laughter you could hear from the street. People said, "You're so lucky, Aaron. Your family must be wonderful." But the truth, that laughter was never for me. My parents adored my elder brother, Rayon, the golden child, smart, charming, everything I wasn't. And my little sister Lila was the angel of the house, sweet, spoiled, and protected. And me, I was the shadow, the extra, the one they didn't have time for. Every day I'd come home from school, hoping maybe today Mom would ask how my day went. Maybe Dad would look up from his newspaper and smile. Maybe Rayan wouldn't tease me. Maybe Lila wouldn't copy him. But instead, "Aaron, move out of the way. Why can't you be more like your brother? Don't touch that, you'll mess it up." Little cuts, every single day. You'd think I'd get used to it, but I never did. I remember my 15th birthday. I came home excited, holding a tiny chocolate cupcake I bought with my own pocket money. I thought, maybe if I light a candle, we could celebrate together. But when I entered the living room, they were already gathered around the table. A big cake, candles, balloons. My heart jumped. Finally, they remembered me. But then I saw the name on the cake. Happy graduation, Rayon. I stood there, holding my little cupcake like a fool. Nobody noticed me. Nobody. That night, I whispered into the darkness. I wish someone could hear me. I wish someone knew how much this hurts. And maybe someone did. Because not long after, everything changed. It happened suddenly. One morning, I woke up feeling strange. My chest heavy, my head buzzing. I thought I was sick. But when I went downstairs, something shocking happened. My mom was in the kitchen, scolding Lila for spilling juice. And in that moment, I thought, she never yells at Rayon like that. Why only me and Lila? And then, Mom froze. She turned slowly, staring at me like she'd seen a ghost. "Aaron," she whispered, "did you just think that out loud?" I blinked. What? I didn't say anything. But then Rayan walked in, smirking as usual. And in my head, I muttered, "Here comes the king of the house." He stopped dead in his tracks. His smirk disappeared. "What did you just call me?" My heart stopped. I didn't. But then Lila piped up. I heard it too. He didn't speak, but I heard it. In my head, that's when I realized my family could hear my thoughts. At first, they laughed. They thought it was a joke, a funny trick. But soon, the laughter faded. Because they weren't just hearing random thoughts. They were hearing my truth. Every scar, every memory, every drop of pain I had kept hidden all these years. It was all out in the open now. And for the first time, they couldn't escape it. That was the day everything changed. But here's the thing. When people finally hear the truth, they either accept it with love or deny it with cruelty. And my family, they weren't ready for the truth. At first, I thought maybe, just maybe, this strange power was a blessing. Finally, they would know me. Finally, my voice couldn't be ignored. But I was wrong. Because the truth, when it's ugly, doesn't set you free. It chains you. The first few days were chaos. Imagine this. You're sitting at the breakfast table. You think to yourself, I wish Mom would make my eggs the way she makes Rayan's. And suddenly, the whole table goes silent. Everyone's eyes on you. That's what happened. My mom's face turned pale. Aaron, Do you really think I treat you differently? I wanted to lie. I wanted to say, no, Mom, you're imagining things, but I couldn't. The words in my head betrayed me. Of course, you treat me differently. You always have. I'm never enough for you. Her spoon clattered onto the table. She didn't say anything after that. Dad, who always sat behind his newspaper like I was invisible, finally looked at me. For the first time in years, his eyes met mine, but not with love, with anger. Stop thinking nonsense, Aaron. Do you hear me? Stop it. But how could I stop? Thoughts don't have brakes. And the more I tried to hold back, the louder my heart screamed. When Rayan bragged about getting top marks in his exams, I thought, of course you did. You always get everything. Attention, praise, love, while I get nothing. He froze. His smile faded. What do you mean, nothing? And when Leela snatched the last cookie from the plate, my little sister, you copy them. You mock me like it's a game. Do you even love me? Her eyes filled with tears. I didn't know you felt that way. The silence that followed was heavy. For the first time in my life, they were all listening to me, but not because they wanted to be, because they couldn't escape it. And honestly, it felt good. It felt like justice. Like the world had finally turned around, and they were being forced to walk in my shoes. But the truth, it was only the beginning of their regret. That night, I was in my room, staring at the ceiling, when I heard footsteps. It was Mom. She walked in quietly, holding a tray with a bowl of soup. I sat up, confused. What's this? Her voice trembled. You didn't eat dinner. I thought you might be hungry. For a moment, I wanted to believe it. I wanted to believe she finally cared. But then my heart whispered, why now? Why only after you heard my pain? Where were you all those years? Her face crumbled. Aaron, please, don't think like that. I'm your mother. I love you, but I couldn't stop my thoughts. Love. If you loved me, you would have seen me. You would have stood up for me. You would have remembered my birthday. Tears slid down her cheeks. She set the tray on my desk and left without another word. And that was the first time I realized this power wasn't just hurting me, it was breaking them too. The next day at school, things got worse, because it wasn't just my family, it was everyone. I was sitting in class, staring out the window, when I thought, I hate how Mr. Collins always favors the smart kids. He never even looks at me. Mr. Collins dropped the chalk. He turned, eyes wide, staring straight at me. Aaron, did you just say that? The class erupted in whispers. He didn't speak. I swear I heard it too. Panic rose in my chest. No, 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 this couldn't be happening. Not here. But it was. Soon, my classmates started avoiding me, or worse, using me. Aaron, think what you really feel about her, one of them would whisper, pointing at a girl. Tell me what he's hiding, another would say, shoving me toward a boy in the hallway. I became a circus act, a freak show, a mind with no secrets. And when I refused, they mocked me. Come on, say something, shadow boy. Too scared to tell the truth. It was torture. And every night, I came home to a family that was falling apart. Dad drank more. Mom cried more. Rayan stopped bringing his friends over. Lila clung to me, apologizing over and over. But none of it mattered, because the damage was done. And deep down, I thought, this is what you deserve. All of you. You made me invisible. Now you can't unhear me. You can't run away from me anymore. But even as I thought it, even as I saw the guilt in their eyes, a small part of me still hurt. Because revenge doesn't heal loneliness. It just makes it louder. One night, weeks later, something happened that changed everything again. I overheard Mom and Dad arguing in the living room. Mom's voice shook. "He's our son, David. We ignored him for years. Can't you see what this has done to him?" Dad snapped back. "Don't blame me. You spoiled Rayanne and Lila. He was always weak, always quiet. What was I supposed to do?" Their words pierced me. I didn't want to hear anymore, but I couldn't stop my mind. "You both failed me, both of you. And now it's too late." The argument stopped instantly. Silence. Then sobs. And that's when it hit me. My power wasn't just exposing the truth. It was destroying the people I once begged to love me. But here's the twist. That destruction, it was only the beginning. Because soon their regret would turn into something else, something darker. Regret is heavy, but fear is heavier. At first, my family's regret looked like love. My resentment, the truth they had buried and prayed, would never surface. And the more they heard, the more their regret twisted into fear. Nobody was talking much, just the sound of forks on plates. Rayan was scrolling through his phone, as usual, and in my head, I thought, of course he doesn't care. He never cared. He ruined my only birthday gift, the sketchbook I loved. And Mom never said a word. The air froze. My fork slipped from my hand. Rayan's face went pale. He put down his phone slowly, his hands trembling. You still remember that?" Mom looked horrified. "Aaron, is that true? He ruined your gift?" Tears burned my eyes. My thoughts screamed louder. "Yes, he ruined everything. He made me feel worthless, and you let him. You let him hurt me, again and again. You all did." The room exploded. Mom burst into tears. "Rayan, how could you? I was just a kid," Rayan yelled. I didn't know. Dad slammed his fist on the table. "Enough. I can't take this anymore. Every meal, every moment, these thoughts, this guilt, it's tearing this family apart. Every thought we ever buried, every mistake, it's like he's a weapon now. What if he tells others? What if this gets out?" Mom's voice cracked. "He's just a boy. That's what I was to him. Not a son, not even a person, just a problem." And the worst part, Mom didn't argue. At school, things were no better. Rumors spread fast. By now, everyone knew. "Don't think around him. He can hear you. He's cursed." I tried to keep my head down, but the voices, it wasn't just my family anymore. Everywhere I went, I heard them. My classmates, my teachers, strangers on the street. Their thoughts pressed into my skull, uninvited, heavy, cruel. "Look at him. If I had that power, I'd make everyone worship me. I bet he's lying. It's just some trick." I couldn't shut them out. The house was too quiet. When I stepped into the living room, I froze. My entire family was sitting there, waiting. Mom, Dad, Rayan, Lila, with the same expression, uneasy, tense. "Sit down, Aaron," Dad said. Something in his tone made my chest tighten. I sat. My heart pounded. Dad cleared his throat. "We've been talking. This thing, whatever is happening with you, it's not normal. It's dangerous." Mom reached out, her voice soft. "We just want to help you, sweetheart. Maybe a doctor, or maybe if he wasn't here, we'd be okay." I couldn't breathe. "You're not trying to help me," I whispered. "You're trying to get rid of me." Mom's eyes filled with tears. "No, Aaron, it's not like that." But my mind screamed, "Liar. You all want me gone. You don't love me. you never did. Not regret, not guilt, but fear. Fear of me. Fear of the truth I carried. That night, I packed a bag. I couldn't stay there anymore. But just as I was about to slip out, Leela appeared at my door. Her eyes were red from crying. "Aaron, please, don't go." Her voice was small, shaking. For once, it wasn't mocking. It was desperate. I looked at her, at the sister who used to laugh at me, copy rayon, tease me until I cried. And my thoughts whispered, why should I stay? You were part of it too. You hurt me too. Her lips trembled. I know, I did, and I'm sorry. Please, just give me a chance to fix it. Don't leave me, Aaron. I need you. Her tears were real. Her fear wasn't of MIT, was of losing me, and for the first time, I didn't know what to do. But even as Lila begged me to stay, I could hear Dad's voice in the next room, on the phone. I don't care what it costs. Just find someone who can deal with this, before it's too late. Before it's too late. Those words haunted me, because deep down, I knew my family wasn't just afraid of losing me, they were afraid of keeping me, and soon they'd be forced to choose. Morning came too quickly. I barely slept, lying awake all night with Lila curled up beside my bed, her small hand gripping mine like she was afraid I'd disappear. Her whispered words replayed in my head. Don't go, Aaron. Promise me you won't go. But how could I promise that when I knew Dad wouldn't take no for an answer? The smell of breakfast drifted up the stairs. Normally, I would have ignored it. But today, every sound, every movement, felt heavy like the calm before a storm. I walked down slowly. Mom was at the table, her eyes red like she'd been crying all night. Rayon sat stiffly, pretending to eat. Dad was by the door, car keys already in hand. Come on, Aaron, he said flatly. We're leaving. My chest tightened, where his voice was sharp. Don't make this harder. Just get in the car. But his thoughts betrayed him. If I don't do this, we'll never survive. He'll ruin everything. This is the only way. The words slammed into me like knives. And before I could stop myself, my thoughts screamed. You're not saving me. You're saving yourself. You're ashamed of me. You always were. Dad's face turned to stone. Enough. Mom reached out, her voice trembling. David, please, don't force him. But Dad cut her off. If you won't do what's necessary, then I will. He grabbed my arm, hard. Lila jumped up, shouting, stop, don't take him. She threw herself between us, tears streaming down her face. He's not sick. He doesn't need a clinic. He needs us. Her voice cracked, but her thoughts were steady. I won't let them hurt you, Aaron. Not again. Not ever. For the first time, I felt protected, but Dad's grip tightened. His thoughts thundered. She doesn't understand. He'll destroy her, too. He'll destroy us all. Something inside me snapped. All the years of silence, all the pain, all the times I begged for love and was met with nothing, it all boiled over. Let go of me, I shouted. But it wasn't just words. My thoughts exploded like fire. Every memory, every scar, every moment of hurt, I felt it surge out of me, raw and unstoppable. They all gasped, clutching their heads. Rayon staggered back. What is this? Mom fell to her knees, tears streaming as my pain poured into her. Dad's face twisted, his grip finally loosening. And Lila, she didn't fall, she didn't cry. She held me tighter, whispering through the storm. I'm here, Aaron. I'm not letting go. Her voice anchored me. Slowly, the storm inside me quieted, but the damage was done. For the first time, they didn't just hear my thoughts, they felt them. My loneliness, my anger, my heartbreak, and it terrified them. Dad backed away, his eyes wide, with something beyond fear. This isn't normal, he whispered. This isn't human. Those words shattered me. Not human. That's what I was to him now. Not his son, not his blood, just something unnatural. Mom reached for me, sobbing. No, David, stop, he's our boy, he's our child. But Dad shook his head. His thoughts were clear. If I don't end this, we'll never be safe. End this. The words echoed in my skull, chilling me to the bone. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat by my window, staring at the stars, wondering if I even belonged under the same sky as them. Leela slipped into my room again, sitting beside me. Her voice was small. You're not a monster, Aaron. Don't believe him. Her thoughts wrapped around me like a blanket. I love you, even if no one else does. I do. I always will. Tears burned my eyes. I wanted to believe her. I wanted to let her words heal me. But deep down, I knew Dad wouldn't stop. And tomorrow, something worse was coming. Because in his mind, I wasn't his son anymore. I was his mistake. And mistakes are meant to be erased. Sometimes, silence is louder than words. The next day, the house was too quiet. Mom avoided my eyes. Rayan locked himself in his room. Leela never left my side. And Dad, he was gone. At first, I thought maybe he'd cooled down. Maybe after what happened at breakfast, he'd realized he couldn't just drag me away like a broken toy. But I was wrong. Because that evening, the doorbell rang. 2 men stood outside, tall, dressed in plain suits, their faces expressionless. Behind them, a dark van waited at the curb. Dad stood with them, his jaw tight, his eyes refusing to meet mine. Aaron, he said coldly, get your things. You're coming with us. My blood turned to ice. Who are they? I whispered. But I didn't need to ask. Their thoughts hit me before they even opened their mouths. Special unit, containment. Keep him calm. Don't let him resist. Containment. I stumbled back. You're sending me away. Dad's eyes flickered, just for a second. Guilt, fear. Then they hardened. This is for your own good. But his mind betrayed him. If he's gone, maybe we can be a family again. Maybe we can be free. Mom rushed forward, grabbing Dad's arm. David, no, he's our son. You can't just... But one look from him silenced her. His thoughts roared. Claire doesn't understand. She never will. But this is the only way. Rayan peered from the stairs, pale and silent. He didn't say a word. He didn't have to. His thoughts whispered. Maybe it's better this way. Maybe he'll finally be gone. And Leela screamed. No, you can't take him. He didn't do anything wrong. She clung to me, sobbing, her small body shaking. Her thoughts cut deeper than any words. I'll die if they take you. Please, don't let them take you. The men stepped inside. Their voices were calm, rehearsed. Don't be afraid, Aaron. Just come with us quietly. It'll be easier that way. But their minds were louder. Sedate him if he resists. Don't let the family see too much. He's dangerous, dangerous. That word again, over and over. From Dad, from them, from the world. I wasn't a son. I wasn't a brother. I wasn't even human. I was a danger. Something inside me broke. No, I said, my voice shaking. I'm not going. Dad's eyes blazed. Aaron, stop being stubborn. Do you want to destroy us all? And my thoughts erupted before I could stop them. Destroy you? You already destroyed me. Every single one of you. All I ever wanted was love. And you gave me nothing. Nothing. The men staggered back, clutching their heads. Mom collapsed to her knees, sobbing. Rayan bolted up the stairs. Only Leela stayed with me, holding me, whispering, "I'm here, Aaron. I'm not letting go." But I felt it, that storm again, rising inside me. Thoughts weren't just thoughts anymore. They were power. The lights flickered. The walls seemed to shake. And for the first time, my family didn't just hear my pain. They felt it crashing down on them like a wave. Dad shouted over the chaos, his voice trembling. "See, do you see what he is? He's not a boy, he's a monster." His thoughts were worse. If I don't stop him now, he'll destroy everything. He'll destroy us all. Monster. That word burned through me like fire. I wanted to scream. I wanted to beg. I wanted to make them all understand. But instead, the storm inside me exploded. And in that moment, nothing would ever be the same again. The world shattered the moment I lost control. The lights above us flickered wildly, then burst with sharp cracks, showering sparks across the floor. Plates shattered, the table rattled, and the air felt heavy, thick like my very thoughts had weight. The two men staggered back, clutching their temples, their faces twisted in pain. Mom screamed. Rayan cowered at the top of the stairs. Dad froze, his eyes wide not with anger this time, but with raw, undeniable fear. And Lila, she didn't let go. She held me tighter. "Aaron, stop. Please, you're hurting yourself." Her voice was drowned out by the chaos, but her thoughts were clear. "I don't care what happens. I won't leave you. I won't let them take you." The storm wasn't just around me. It was inside me. Every hurt, every betrayal, every moment I had swallowed in silence, it all came pouring out, forcing itself into their minds. They weren't just hearing me, they were living me. Mom gasped, clutching her chest, her voice trembling. "No, oh God, is this how he felt all these years?" Dad staggered back, his face pale, sweat dripping down his forehead. His thoughts screamed louder than his voice. "This pain, it's unbearable. How did he live with this? How did we not see?" Even Rayan, the golden boy, the one who mocked me the most, had fallen to his knees upstairs, hands over his ears. His thoughts echoed through the storm. I didn't know it hurt this much. I just wanted them to love me more. I didn't know I was killing him. The truth was burning them alive. And part of me, God forgive me, wanted them to burn. But then I looked at Lila, her arms wrapped around me, her tears wetting my shirt, her small voice whispering, "It's okay, Aaron. You're not a monster. You're not." Her thoughts were steady, strong. "I'll take this pain. I'll carry it with you. Just don't let it break you." And for a moment, the storm faltered. The two men by the door stumbled toward Dad, their voices strained. "We can't control him." Dad's voice cracked. "Then sedate him. Do it now." One of them fumbled in his pocket, pulling out a small syringe, the needle glinting under the broken light. The moment I saw it, the storm surged again. My thoughts roared, unstoppable. "You're going to drug me, lock me away, erase me, just like you always wanted. Just like you erased my voice, my dreams, my life." The syringe snapped in the man's hand before it even touched me. Shards of glass and metal flew across the room, embedding into the wall. The man cried out, clutching his hand. Dad's face went white. "Aaron," Mom sobbed, crawling toward me on her knees. "Please, stop this before you kill someone." Kill. That word froze me. Was I really that close? The storm around me pulsed like a living thing, feeding off my fear, my rage. And then, through the chaos, Dad's thoughts cut through like a knife. He has to be stopped, even if it kills him. Those words broke something inside me. I looked into his eyes, searching for even a shred of love, of the father I once hoped for. But there was nothing. Only fear, only hate. And in that moment, I realized he wasn't just afraid of losing me. He wanted to destroy me. The storm flared, stronger than ever. The walls shook, windows cracked. A deafening hum filled the air. Mom screamed. Rayon sobbed upstairs. The two men bolted out the door, stumbling into the night. And Dad stood frozen, staring at me like I was something he didn't recognize, something inhuman. Then, silence. The storm collapsed in on itself, leaving me trembling, weak, gasping for breath. The house was wrecked glass, wood, and broken memories scattered everywhere. And in the silence that followed, I heard it, not from my family, not from myself, but from somewhere deeper, darker, a voice. This is only the beginning. My knees buckled. Lila caught me, holding me up with all her strength. Her thoughts whispered desperately, "Don't listen to it, Aaron. Please, don't let it take you." But deep down, I knew something had awakened, and there was no going back. The house was broken. Shards of glass crunched under my bare feet as I staggered to the couch. My chest heaved, sweat dripping down my forehead. My mind felt hollow, drained. But beneath it all, that whisper still lingered. This is only the beginning. I pressed my hands to my ears, as if I could block it out. But the voice wasn't coming from outside. It was inside me. Mom knelt on the floor, her hands trembling as she picked up broken pieces of glass. Her face streaked with tears. "Aaron," she whispered. Her voice was raw, shaken. What happened to you?" Her thoughts tangled in knots of regret. "My baby is gone. I should have protected him. I should have loved him more. God, what have we done?" Hearing that should have soothed me, but it didn't, because it was too late. Dad stood by the door, staring at the wreckage, like it was proof of everything he feared. His fists clenched so tight, his knuckles turned white. He didn't say a word, but his mind screamed louder than his silence. "He's dangerous. He'll destroy us. We have to end this before it's too late." I met his eyes. For the first time, I didn't feel fear. I felt rage. "You hate me that much?" I whispered. He didn't answer, but his silence was the answer. Rayon crept down the stairs, his face pale, eyes swollen from crying. He looked at me like I was both a stranger and a mirror, reflecting everything he didn't want to see. "I didn't mean it," he muttered, his voice breaking. "I didn't know how much it hurt you. I swear, Aaron, I didn't know." But his thoughts betrayed him. I thought I wanted him gone, but now I just want things to go back. I want it all to go back. There was no going back. And then there was Lila. She sat beside me, holding my hand like I was still her brother. Not a monster, not a curse, just Aaron. Her voice shook, but her words were steady. "Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the fear. You're still you. You're still my brother." Her thoughts wrapped around me like a lifeline. "Even if they leave you, even if the world turns against you, I'll stay." But that dark whisper inside me coiled tighter, laughing at her words. "They will betray you again. They always will. But you can be free, strong, untouchable." I shook my head violently. "Get out of my head," I screamed, not sure if I was shouting at my family or at the voice. Mom flinched. Rayan stepped back. Even Dad's breath caught, but Lila only squeezed my hand tighter. "It's not you, Aaron. It's not who you are. Her faith burned brighter than their fear, but I wondered, how long could her light hold back the darkness rising in me? That night, the house was silent again. Mom sobbed quietly in her room. Rayan hid in his dad, sat in the living room with his phone, whispering to someone I couldn't hear, but I could hear his thoughts. It's not over. If those men won't take him, I'll find someone else who will, before it's too late. Betrayal cut me deeper than any blade. He wasn't done. He would never stop. And the voice inside me whispered, darker now, hungrier. Then maybe it's time you stop him first. I lay awake, staring at the ceiling, Leela's small hand still gripping mine in sleep. My heart ached with love for her, but the storm in me, it wasn't gone, it was waiting. And I knew one thing for sure. The next time it broke free, someone wouldn't survive. I didn't sleep that night. The house creaked, shadows stretched across the walls, and every sound made my chest tighten. Lila's hand never left mine. She was the only anchor keeping me from drifting into the storm. But even her presence couldn't drown out the whispers. He'll betray you again. He already has. The others don't love you. They never did. You only have one choice, Aaron. One choice. I clenched my fists until my nails dug into my palms. No, I whispered to the ceiling. I won't hurt them. I won't. But deep down, I wasn't sure anymore. Morning came heavy, with a silence thicker than night. Mom avoided my eyes, her face pale, her hands trembling as she poured coffee she didn't drink. Rayan sat across the table, his plate untouched, his thoughts spinning like broken glass. I should say something. I should apologize. But if I do, what if he breaks again? What if I push him further? He stared at me, but never spoke. And Dad wasn't there. It was in tea, until I caught the faint murmur of his voice from the garage that I realized where he was. I pressed my ear to the door, and the words hit me like a fist. Yes, tonight. He won't fight back if we time it right. I don't care what it takes. He's a threat. We can't live like this. Bring enough men. He was planning to erase me, and worse. His thoughts betrayed something colder than fear. Maybe then, maybe once he's gone, we'll be a family again. Whole again. Whole without me. My knees buckled, and for a moment, I couldn't breathe. I stumbled back into the living room, my vision blurry, the storm beginning to stir inside me again. Mom looked up, startled. Aaron, what's wrong? I couldn't answer, because every time I tried to speak, Dad's betrayal echoed in my skull. He wanted me gone. He wanted me erased. And tonight, he was going to make it happen. That evening, I sat in my room with Lila. She was humming softly, brushing her doll's hair, as if nothing outside mattered. But she kept glancing at me, her thoughts wrapping around me like a fragile shield. Please stay calm. Please don't listen to the darkness. I need you. I can't lose you. I forced a smile for her sake, but inside I was unraveling. Night fell. The house sat heavy in silence, broken only by the ticking of the old clock in the hallway. Then headlights swept across the windows, doors slammed, boots crunched against gravel. My chest tightened. They were here. Lila froze, her eyes wide. Aaron, what's happening? I didn't answer. I couldn't, because my father's thoughts were already screaming in my head. Do it quickly, before he resists, before he destroys us all. The front door burst open. Their eyes were cold, their minds sharper, louder. Restrain the subject. Don't let him project. Move fast. Move together. The storm surged inside me, rising like a tidal wave. Mom screamed. Rayon bolted upstairs. Dad barked orders like a general leading soldiers. And I stood there, trembling, caught between two voices. Leela's soft and desperate. "Stay with me, Aaron. Please stay with me." And the darkness, cruel and commanding. "Show them your power. Make them pay. This is the only way." The men stepped closer, restraints glinting in their hands. And in that instant, I knew this night would decide everything. Would I be the monster they feared, or the brother Leela still believed in? The storm broke loose, and the house was swallowed in chaos. The night split open with chaos. Boots thundered across the floor. Hands reached for me, restraints glinting under the flickering light, and the storm inside me. It roared. The windows shattered, the walls trembled. The very air seemed to pulse with the weight of my thoughts. The men cried out, clutching their heads, staggering back as my pain bled into theirs. Mom screamed my name. Rayan sobbed from upstairs. Dad barked orders, his voice shaking, and through it all Leela's small hands clung to mine. The soldiers closed in, moving like shadows. "Don't resist. Subdue him. End this quickly." But their thoughts only fed the fire. "No," I shouted, my voice echoing with something more than sound. "I'm not your prisoner." A wave of energy burst out, knocking half of them to the ground. The others hesitated, fear in their eyes. But Dad didn't flinch. He pointed at me, his face twisted with desperation. "Do it. Don't stop until he's down." And his thoughts. "Even if he dies, end this. End him." That was the breaking point. For years, I begged for his love, for a single moment of pride, a single word of kindness. And in the end, he chose fear. He chose hate. Tears burned down my face as the storm spiraled higher, the air cracking with power. For the first time, I wasn't sure if I could stop it. Mom crawled toward me, on her knees, her voice trembling. "Aaron, please, please listen to me. I know we failed you. I know we hurt you, but killing them won't heal you. It won't heal us." Her thoughts poured into me, raw and naked. I was weak. I let him control me. I should have fought for you. I'm sorry, Aaron. I'm so sorry. Her regret was real, painful, but real. And for the first time, I believed her. The storm wavered. But then Dad stepped forward, his face pale, but his voice strong. "He's lying to you. Don't listen. He's manipulating you." Manipulating. The irony cut through me. And then his final thought, sharp and merciless. "If he lives, we all die. If he dies, we can survive." That was it. The voice inside me laughed, dark and triumphant. "Do you hear him now? He'll never love you, never accept you. End him. End this. Be free." The storm surged to its peak, power crackling in the air like lightning. Dad staggered back, shielding his eyes. Mom screamed. Rayan begged from upstairs. The soldiers froze, unsure if they were about to live or die. And me, I stood at the center of it all, my heart breaking under the weight of choice. Then Leela's voice cut through the chaos. "Aaron," she cried, her small body pressing against mine, her tears soaking my shirt. Her thoughts burned into me, brighter than the storm, brighter than the darkness. "You're not a monster. You're my brother. And no matter what they say, no matter what they do, I love you. I'll always love you." Love, the word I had waited my whole life to hear. The storm shattered, not outward, but inward. The power collapsed back into me, leaving the room trembling, broken, but still standing. The soldiers dropped their restraints, gasping for air. Mom clutched her chest, sobbing. Rayon peeked from the stairs, eyes wide. Dad stood frozen, his mouth open, his face unreadable, and I fell to my knees, shaking, tears spilling down my face. "I'm not your monster," I whispered. "I never was." The soldiers fled, dragging each other out into the night. Mom crawled to me, wrapping her arms around me like she hadn't in years. Rayan came down, kneeling beside me, guilt heavy in his eyes. Lila never let go, her tiny arms locked around my neck. And Dad, he stayed by the door, his face pale, his thoughts silent for the first time since I'd been reborn. Silent, because deep down, I think even he didn't know what to believe anymore. That night, the family was broken, but for the first time, cracks of healing showed through. Not because everything was forgiven, not because everything was fixed, but because they finally felt my pain. And maybe, just maybe, they finally saw me. I don't know what comes next. Maybe the world will come for me again. Maybe Dad will never change. Maybe the storm inside me will rise once more. But as long as Leela's hand is in mine, I know I won't face it alone. And that's enough. For now.